Hey, this is Matt once again. What about another videos, another paid request, this time from Guillermo. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, rankings, whatever it may be, randomness, whatever, feel free to send it. Either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box under any of these videos. So Guillermo, he wanted me to rank, because he's the one who requested the VHS 99 movie. Rank all 25 segments of the VHS movies. VHS 1, 2, Viral, 94, and 99. Now that includes the wraparound segments, and he wanted me to go from worst to best. I will say, if it's okay with you, I like to go from best to worst, because I want to talk about the stuff I like at first to have a bit of energy. Then when I get more tired, I'll just curse at some of these shittier ones. Because to be honest, when I looked at this list, I would say the first 6 I liked, and then the next couple I could deal with. By the time you get to 9, number 10 onward, I just fucking hate. That's why I'm not big on the series, because out of 25, there's only 6 I really like. And in 1 or 2 of them, I just like, I have issues with it. There's not a good batting average, at least for me. So I would say my favorite segment is Safe Haven from VHS 2 with Gareth Evans and another guy. Gareth Evans did The Raid in The Raid 2. I forget who the other director was. But that was the one in VHS 2 where it was the foreign film with the cult, and there was a documentary crew researching it, and I loved how crazy it got, action-packed it got. Just everywhere you turn, there's either people exploding or crazy stuff of people putting all their guns to their heads and blowing their brains out, then they come back as zombies, giving birth to this weird practical creature goat demon thing. I didn't mind the way it ended, because it's one of those scenes that number one, the one guy didn't die because the creature called him Daddy. That's something I would like to see what happened after it. Like, when I see it and I go, I want to see what happened after it, I don't think that's too bad of a segment for me. I'm curious to see where it went. I'm curious to see what the future of that segment would have been if you kept going another 10-15 minutes. So I think that definitely had a lot of it's got the blood quotient, if you want that. It is some pretty crazy shit. Utilized the footage aspect fairly well. The cult had a bit of a Jim Jones, Jonestown type of thing. A little bit, but not quite. So that, I would say, is my favorite. As well as the second one, Bone Storm from VHS Viral. I love that segment. A lot of people hate it. That's the one with the skateboarders, and there's this kind of they're in this skate park, and then they just got kicked the shit out of these zombies and these skeleton crew, and I loved it. I loved the gore. I loved the Evil Dead style fun, creativity of it. The 2 leads drew on me, because they seem like dicks at first, but I like the bits like they take care of this homeless guy, and the way they said some of the dialogue. Like, they're not actors, they're just people who are that way, and from what I understand, the director just found them and put them in there. I just see what they saw in them. Like, you interrupt me more and more time, I'm gonna punch you in the fucking mouth. Turn to the dickhead guy directing that wants them to get hurt on purpose for views. And there's just some lines I remember being funny. Like, they kept calling the guy camera guy. Hey, camera guy. Hey, camera guy. I like their stadium. They see this weird guy singing. And so the skateboarder tells the camera guy, hey, camera guy, your dad has a beautiful voice. Like, be a smart ass about that. And then, the 2 skateboarder guys help each other out. And they're using firecrackers and skateboarding, and like the way the music is, and kicking ass, taking names, and while at the end some crazy shit might happen, they escape and they get out of there. And again, that's another one. I would love to see what would happen later, what would happen next. I love Bone Storm. I think that's an awesome segment. I wish that was in VHS too, instead of that stupid eye thing. And then number 3, I put The Subject. That's from VHS 94. That's the one with the lady, and she's got these cyber implants. It reminded me a bit of like Doom, that type of like first-person video game feel. And there's like some nice creativity, some decent practical effects, and action. Again, the ending I didn't mind a bit. Again, that's another one that I wanted to see more of. And that's the makings of a good segment, when you want to see more of, not less of. And I just remember that being very entertaining. Number 4 was Ride in the Park from VHS 2. That's from some of the guys who did the Blair Witch Project. Just love the concept. Love the concept of being on this bicycle rider, and then he gets bit by a zombie. And we see the POV of what happens to someone who slowly turns to a zombie, and then being in the shoes of a zombie, how they act, where they go, what happens to them. And then you have this thing where this one brief moment that he recognizes the love of his life, and he kind of makes a decision. He can't keep going on this way, so it's a bit tragic. I thought that was a very interesting take on a zombie, because there's so many zombie movies. I thought that was a different creative take on it. Number 5, I put The Slumber Party Alien Abduction, VHS 2, because I did not mind Jason Eisener's, I think that's his name. I didn't mind his style. I remember not minding the kids and some of the rapport. The fact there's like these aliens come out of the woodwork. I'm not big on the ending of it, but just something about it, like the way the kids interacted and the way the aliens were, kind of made it feel like, what was I reviewed them, those found footage movies back in the day, the alien abduction ones. Yeah, I forgot what they were called. I just remember, I don't mind this. Like I said, I didn't mind the way it looked. And Suicide Bid is number 6. That's from the new one, VHS 99. That's the one where the girl with the sorority, the dare to be buried, but then they leave because they don't want to be caught by the cops, and she's stuck there. Interesting idea. Her in the coffin, you get a little bit of that claustrophobia. And then the ghoul, I didn't mind the way the ghoul, the zombie, looked. The ending is a bit of that, the perpetrators get their comeuppance. So it's kind of like a little bit of a Tales of the Crypt type of vibe to it. That's one. While there's little things here and there. I mean, I talked about that in the VHS 99 review, but like that was the best of the 99 stuff. So again, the number 7 and 8, there were 2 other stories on VHS 99. Just like I said, 99, I probably put over 94. Although 94 has the one true segment I enjoyed. So that's why I'm like, maybe I put 94 above it. But I said 99 has some interesting ideas that sadly were not fully fleshed out or fully implemented in the way they should have. Like the Gawkers. Okay, that definitely got the 90s nostalgia. Someone mentioned, well, I'm surprised you didn't like VHS 99, Matt, because I figured you liked the 90s nostalgia. But that's the only story that really did that. The only story of those 4 or 5 that really dealt with the decade of the 90s was that. You have like a kid playing Resident Evil 2 for PlayStation 1. You have someone mention Y2K, and someone mentioned these other things. That was the only one that preyed on the 90s nostalgia. And plus, even the concept of the characters is kind of like rejects from American Pie. Like this, they could be unlikable, but again, on the flip side, some of the stuff they were saying was kind of funny, and some of the situations they were doing was kind of funny. And like I said, I don't mind the idea of the American Pie aspect then turned to horror. And the idea of the creature doing the Gorgon with the Clash of the Titans thing with the... It was before that, but I think of Clash of the Titans when I think of the lady with the snakes it has hair and turns people into stone. The first thing that I always come to mind me is Clash of the Titans. I know that was a feature from way before, but still. Although the effects look really bad in this, that needed a lot of work, or at least some work. If it did, it would have been pretty decent. Number 8, I put Tail and Bat. That was the last segment. Like I said, I don't mind the way the hell looked, and there's this weird lady named Mabel. Didn't mind her, but at the end, just didn't like the way it ended. I didn't think it fit with the tone. Like, it's very like comedic tone, and then these two guys help each other. But then, oh, now we shift that tone, herky-jerky, like Whiplash, and they die. I don't know about that. Number 9, I put 10/31/98. That's the one with Radio Silence from VHS 1. It was the only 7 VHS 1 that I could kind of get into. Just because, while they're also very stupid, because they go to a fucking place that is obviously, they're looking for a party, but they come in, there's no one around. It's obvious there's no fucking party here, but they keep exploring the house. But I like some of the creativity of the effects. Like the scene where they're in the haunted, everything's going up shit creek, and like the windows and doors are closing in on them, and there's all this other stuff happening. I didn't mind that. If that ended in a more interesting or clever or better way, I probably would have liked it a bit more. But the ending's like in typical found footage shit. The woman they saved trapped them on the railroad track and they die. I mean, I would have had it where they save the girl and she tells a stranger, "What the fuck?" She goes, "Thanks for helping me. You helped me, I'm gonna let you live, but just don't worry about me. Just move along." Then maybe she tells another stranger, they go off, and like, "Oh shit, fuck this, let's just go to a party. Don't ever show this video again." You know, something like that would at least be a bit different, but it wasn't the case. Number 10, I put Sick Thing That Happened to Emily from VHS 1. The only reason I put that in there is because I enjoyed the girl. That's the one where it's like a Skype chat, which I'm like, well, how the fuck does that fit VHS? But you know, like I said, this is from here on out. I don't like these, but like this, it's a girl talking to a doctor that always has to take his fucking shirt off, always have to have shirtless Joe has to be there, shirtless chill, shilling the night away, just being a terrible performance. But then the girl is outclassing him in acting, because the girl, I really felt the sympathy for this girl. I felt sympathy for the lady. I thought she did a pretty damn decent job. She deserved better. She deserved better movie. She deserved a better segment. As she, like this, all this strangeness is happening, and then the ending. I can't even explain you what the fuck happened with the ending. It's a ghost, but then the doctor's working with the ghost, but then there's some type of thing that he takes out. But, or is it government? I don't fucking know. I don't know. But I did like the lead girl. The lead actress. Number 11, Ozzy's Dungeon from 99. I like the Legends of the Hidden Temple Nickelodeon show type of beginning. Although the set looked really cheap, so I'm like, what kind of fuck, even cable actors would not take this show? But they take an initial concept and they just do nothing with it. They spend a good chunk of time with this family, with this fat fuck lady, just torturing this host. I'm like, why are you torturing the host? Why don't you find the fucking kid that broke your daughter's leg in the first place? But the guy who is the most to blame is nowhere else to be fucking found, because during the obstacle course, this one kid, Timmy or whatever, broke this girl's leg. Wouldn't that be the guy you want to find and kidnap? Wouldn't be that the one you want to fuck with? No. It's like the movie completely forgets about that. And then you get this like lame ass ending. Number 12, I put Dante the Great from VHS viral only because some of the magician stuff could maybe be interesting, but at the same time, it was still about a fucking cloak that ate people. A magician's cloak, his cape, eating people. Now, if that was a lot more funny and fun, maybe I could enjoy it, but it just wasn't the case here. But the stuff with the magician to begin with could be interesting compared to other stuff, but just, I don't know. Execution was faltered. Number 13 is Terror. That's the one from 94. That's the one with the extremists who are racist, and there's this barn, and this thing gets out, starts killing them. I mean, compared to other stuff, it didn't make me as mad, but it still was sour grapes at that point where I don't care about the characters, obviously, because of who they are. So I don't care about their predicament. And it just felt a bit messy, especially I don't know. That's one I don't remember as much, which just goes to show you that at the very least I thought it was maybe just forgettable, not rage-inducing. Storm Drain from 94, the VHS 94, that's another one I barely remember. That's like a news crew went into the sewers. I'm like, if I want to see something in the sewers, I'd watch Chud again. But that I remember having a really stupid ending, like trying to do their version of the Howling or something with the ending. I don't know. Granted, when you're in storm drains and sewers, I like that environment because you do get some good, solid atmosphere from that. But, the rest of the story and cast and stuff just did nothing for me. Number 15, Empty Wait from VHS 94. I hated this segment. It was just a woman at a funeral home working, and she hears noises. She hears some noises. She runs back. She runs forward. Build up, build up, build up. Very boring build up, and then blah, 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 and then she's possessed, I think. Like, a whole lot of boring build up for a whole lot of nothing. 16, I put Phase 1 Trials from VHS 2 is the weakest, well, it's, other than the wraparound, is the weakest segment of VHS 2. That's the one with, I think it's Adam Wingard himself, the director. He cast himself as the lead, which is a mistake because he's not an actor. And then the whole eyeball camera, and he starts seeing ghosts and stuff. Whatever. Really did nothing for me. I don't think the lead guy would. The director is not an actor. I don't know why he cast himself in it. And after the initial concept, it didn't really go anywhere that interesting. Number 17, Parallel Monsters. That's on VHS Viral. That's like the scientist able to go into another dimension. And I remember there's some weird stuff involving like dicks or something that was ditch shaped. Or I forget what the fuck it was, man. There's some weird ass shit going on in that. I just remember being just annoyed by the episode, like some really dumb stuff happening. But it shows how little I remember it. Number 18, I put Amateur Night. The stupid, I liked you. I know a lot of people love that, and it even got its own movie. I don't think it deserved it. Bone Storm, to me, deserves a movie. Safe Haven, you could do that movie, but not, or The Subject, the cyber doom-like thing from VHS 94, not Amateur Night. Again, three people who are the dumbest people, one guy wearing glasses that has a camera in it, and a lady that you could tell is psycho from I Liked You. I Liked You. I don't know, maybe it's female Kevin Smith. I don't know, just wide-eyed fuck. And just, she turns to a creature, and then the two grown guys hide in the bathroom, and there's so many things you could do, and the one guy runs away, and he doesn't know how to fucking run, so he slips over his dick, slips over his feet, breaks his fucking leg. I really hated the first VHS, as it called very horrible shit. Number 19, I put Tape 49, the VHS 2 wraparound. The wraparounds in the VHS films were always shitty. That's why I didn't mind the Army Men stuff in VHS 99, but you can't really call that a segment. Because I'm like, fine, like, it's like they knew we can't do a wraparound worth of shit, so just don't do it. Good, I'm fine with that. If you can't do it right, don't do it. And the wraparounds, like, VHS 2 is like the least annoying, but still wasn't that remarkable. 20, Holy Hell, that was the wraparound 94. I think that dealt like a SWAT team. Like I said, the wraparound becomes so forgettable, it's hard to register them. At least for those. And like there was 25. But like the last five, like the five worst ones. Shredding from 99, Tuesday the 17th from VHS 1, Vicious Circles from Viral, which is the wraparound, Tape 56, which is the wraparound VHS 1, and Second Honeymoon from VHS 1. That's the worst one. So I know he wanted me to go back. So let's go backwards on the five. The worst one, Second Honeymoon from VHS 1. One of the worst segments I've ever seen in a fucking anthology. Watch the most boring honeymoon couple you'll ever see in your life. Watch the excitement of them getting gas at the gas station. Or the horror of someone sneaking into their room and taking the guy's toothbrush. Or, you took his $20, man! And then the slow build. And then, oh, the guy gets his throat slit because the wife is in cahoots with this killer and they're lesbians. And it's from Ty West, which I don't think he's that as good of a director as people make him out to be, at least based on his track record. Not a big Ty West guy. And that is easily the most boring, horrible segment in any of the VHS movies. The second worst is the wraparound VHS 1. It is the most inane, insanely unlikable group of characters. It's insulting to call them characters. Like, they brace shit, they're assholes, they're ripping women's clothes. They go to find a VHS tape, they find a dead fucking body, and they decide to, I don't know, instead of taking the tapes and going somewhere and watch them, they decide to sit in front of the dead body and watch a tape. They sit on their they sit on the ground like the little kid watching a Saturday morning cartoon in front of a dead fucking body, and some of them are so fucking stupid they don't realize that the goddamn dead body literally walked off. And the one guy with the cum catcher mustache like, oh shit, before he got killed at the end. Horrible, irritating wraparound. Just stupidity as well. The third worst to me is the wraparound of VHS Viral because it's just confusing and random. Someone's running, someone's chasing, goes to a cab, then it's like the ambulance, and I could barely keep up as to what the hell was going on. Something about a signal, and something like ambulance or something is driving around and making people crazy, I guess. Like I said, it just got so confusing. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Especially when you cut to a story, then you have to cut back to his wraparound. You're like, well, what the fuck going on? The fourth worst is Tuesday the 17th of VHS 1. I remember that being an insanely stupid one where a girl takes her friends to the woods, and then you find out, and apparently God hated that as well, because he just... Sorry, I know, I'll be quick with it. I apologize, God, I know. He blew his top thinking of that too. Because the girl takes her friends, but she took her friends to make them as bait to get revenge for the death of her old friends. So she gets her new friends murdered to try to bring out this glitch killer, a killer that looks like a glitch in a camera. I don't bring my friends here for you to die, so I can try to kill this guy for revenge of the death of my old friends. Which doesn't work anyway because she gets her stupid ass killed anyway, so, like, good. She deserves it. Also, these friends are pretty big dunces, because one of their friends literally go, "You don't fucking die here." And like, haha, yo, you joking, huh? They don't think, they think a little bit of it, but not as much as they fucking should. And then Shredding is the fifth worst one from '99. That's the rock band who pull pranks in the first segment of VHS '99. To me, there's nothing to it. They're just lame assholes. And then because this band called Bitch Calf from years ago died from, I guess their audience trampled them after this chaos happened. So they take this new band, take these fake sex dolls and jump on them to mimic how the old band got ran over and trampled. And then these people get killed, and I'm like, good, because they fucking suck. Just wasn't that special, wasn't that scary. So again, the 5 best ones to me were Safe Haven, the cult from VHS 2, the skateboarder Bone Storm and VHS Viral, the Cyber Doom like thing, the subject from '94, and Ride in the Park, the zombie point of view in VHS 2, and the Slumber Party Alien Abduction from VHS 2. The 5 worst ones is Ty West Sucking Honeymoon, the most boring honeymoon you'll see. Oh my god, I took the toothbrush, you $20. From VHS 1, that's the worst one I saw. The wraparound VHS 1 with the fucking stupid ass crooks watching videotapes in front of dead bodies. The third worst is the wraparound in VHS Viral that was just random and confusing, convoluted. The fourth worst one is Tuesday the 17th with some really dumb decisions, and the lead has such a dumb, idiotic plan. And then number 5 worst to me is Shredding, because it was just completely boring, useless segment. The first one in this new VHS. So, with that said, I hope that sufficed. Thanks once again, Guillermo. Take care, guys, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.